Hello and welcome to What the Flick. I am Matt Atchity, head of programming here at the Young Turks, also one of the critics and know-it-alls here on this channel. This is Christy Lemire from RogerEbert.com and ChristyLemire.com.
Yes.
You can from time to time watch Wine the Flick. And then Alonso Duralde from The Wrap and from Linoleum Knife Podcast. We are going to talk to you first today a little bit about the box office, which, just like last week, it's a rerun.
Black Panther
makes
and Black Panther.
all the money again.
Well,
And it should.
Yeah, no question. And this was a record for second weekends. I think it outgrossed the Avengers' second weekend, so I think it's the biggest MCU second weekend. It's among the top 5 second weekends now, and the largest pre-summer one, and I think maybe the largest non-Star Wars one. I mean, so its reign continues unabated.
Yeah, and what's so cool is that like giant groups of people are going, like, you know,
Again.
money again,
Yeah.
but also
Yeah.
money is being raised for like groups of kids to go see it and like women to go see it and women of color to go see it. And so the fact that that kind of word of mouth is spreading and it's gaining all kinds of new traction in week 2 and beyond is very exciting.
I was glad to know, though, that as much as since I really like Game Night, Matt and I reviewed it last week,
Yes,
and I'm
I
a
need
big
to see
fan,
it. Yes.
that it didn't completely get lost in the shuffle. That it didn't. I think it made like what 16.
16.6 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
So which is about what they were expecting, and that's certainly a respectable opening for an R-rated comedy.
Yeah.
And so
it
you
got
know,
better reviews than people probably expected, right? Because it's
Absolutely.
better than you expected. I
certainly,
understand,
yes,
right?
yes, no question.
And we mentioned this in the review last week. The crew at the AMC in Burbank that I was showing that movie seemed
did
bound and
everything to
determined.
make Matt not like
Exactly.
that movie, but he did anyway.
Started 30 minutes late. They kept showing it. It almost is. I don't know what happened to the lens there. It almost looked like it was in red blue 3D. Like it had this weird
Like a double kind of
yeah,
image,
and like
yeah.
stroby, and it just was really irritating.
So did they stop it and start it again?
A couple of times,
Okay.
and there were trailers in front of it.
So they had to sit through
Oh,
those again.
no.
Too.
So you had to sit through those
Oh,
again.
no.
And so at that point, you know.
Anyway, you've told this story, Matt. Let it
I
go.
want to
again.
hear the
Let
story.
it go.
Tell it
It's
again.
very
Well, watch
exciting.
our
It was
review.
good. No, it was very good.
But it's still, but I'm looking. There's more Black Panther stuff here. It is already the 5th highest grossing MCU title.
Already,
Okay.
right.
Already
In-
in
in
2
10
weeks.
I think it's
days,
the
whatever.
4th biggest opening movie. They said something like 4th biggest, or no, 4th biggest second weekend behind
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, Avengers, the first, or
No,
Force
it passed the
Awakens,
first Avengers.
Jurassic,
Ah.
and Avengers. The second weekend.
Oh.
Like those are the only other 3 movies I think that have done
Maybe
over
I
$100
thought
million.
I thought it passed Avengers, but who knows? It's hard to tell. But
It's a lot of money.
But yeah, and apparently it is shortly going to pass Captain America: Civil War and Iron Man 3, which would make it would make it the 3rd highest grossing Marvel movie. And so I was thinking about this morning. I mean, I think what this movie shows is not the idea that, oh, look, we can have a movie with a black cast and it'll do just as well. No, you can do a movie with a black cast and it will do better.
It will obliterate everything, yeah. And it's not just, oh, it has a black cast. Like, it's really good. And
well,
it's
of course,
beautifully
obviously.
made. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's what's so cool about it is it's really different from a lot of these comic book movies that we are comparing it to in
Sure.
terms of its
Right.
rhythms and its energy.
Listen,
and the
if
look
it was
of
just about
but
having
it's
a
so
black
cool.
cast,
Yeah.
if it was just about having a black cast, then Tyler Perry would have as much money as Bill
Indeed.
Gates.
No, I
right?
don't, I'm not trying to equate the two, but
Come
I'm
on.
just saying the fact that that would be considered it's a dicey move that we're doing this, but obviously it's not. I think internationally we're going to learn that it's not as well, and so that's another sort of canard that's going to go with the idea of black movies, black protagonists don't really play in Asia. The Fast and the Furious movies certainly do, and that's a very diverse cast happening there. And I think this movie is going to, it apparently. It's doing well internationally. So I think the whole black movies don't travel thing is going to hopefully go by the wayside. And I hope that it's a wider message that the studios get, that if you serve an underserved audience, they will show up in droves and with enthusiasm, and they'll show up again the second weekend.
So what you're saying is we're not going to see Medea Goes to Wakanda?
Oh
Is that what
man.
I mean,
Is that what you're saying? It's not going to be a Tyler Perry movie?
Look,
version of
Boo
it?
started out as a joke in top 5, so
And
anything can
Boo too.
happen.
And
You
there's
said
Boo
it,
too,
so
yes.
yeah.
What else came out this week?
Well, sadly,
Annihilation.
Annihilation did get kind of buried in all this. Although I think Black Panther's part of the problem, but also it had a C cinema score because, frankly, it's the kind of movie that if you were going expecting monsters and explosions, that's not the movie that this is. And we're going to review Annihilation today, so you'll get more of our thoughts about it. But it is the kind of cerebral sci-fi movie that we've seen with Blade Runner 2049 and a lot of other films that are a tricky sell with audiences.
Yeah, it's weird. It's nutty, like in all the best ways.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the movies that it reminded me of and reminded you of. But I'm actually amazed that it got a C cinema score. I thought it would get like an F.
I kind of hoped
the
it
dreaded
would.
amazing F.
I hoped,
which is a badge of honor in
the
its own
mother
way.
box people would be out to get it, but we'll have to settle for a C.
Well, this came out this week. Well, Every Day came out this week, which is based on a YA book I had to review every day for RogerEbert.com.
Which I heard was kind of okay.
It's like a speed dating version of Freaky Friday. It's like the spirit bops around from one body to the next. So every 24 hours, the spirit, the soul, which goes by the letter A, is in a different teenager's body. And in one of the bodies, she falls in love with Angourie Rice, who was so good in The Nice Guys, right? She was Ryan Gosling's daughter.
Okay.
Wait, she's the lead, right?
She is. So the spirit falls in love with Angourie Rice, and then like in every other body that she inhabits, the spirit tries to find
Angourie
her.
Rice. Oh wow.
Anyway, it's a YA book.
Weird.
It's nutty. It's
That's
really
weird.
nutty. I had questions.
It took in 3.1 million, but it cost under 5,
Yeah.
so they're okay with that. Oh, and it's the relaunch of Orion.
It was, yes. There was
my
some
God.
applause
Yeah.
during my screening of "Yay, the Orion
Logo.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
next?
Annihilation took in 11 million,
Disappointing.
which is not great. And oh God, The Greatest Showman just will not go away. 3.4 mil. It is now at 160.7 domestic, and the 4th highest grossing musical of all time domestic.
They're doing a sing-along of The Greatest Showman
Oh,
again.
I know. I
They
got
keep doing
invited.
them.
And
So,
I said no, thank
We're
you.
not
again.
going?
No.
So
I was gonna go.
we need to take a break. So recommend seeing at least the 3 movies in the top 3. The other thing that I recommend looking up based on the success of Black Panther is look up on Lupita Nyong'o's Twitter feed the video of Letitia Wright freestyling to beatboxing by the Winston Duke.
Whoa.
It's amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. I would strongly recommend that.
Actually, number 3 was Peter Rabbit. It beat out Annihilation.
All right.
So.
Well, so anyway, Annihilation.